Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. This brother Obadiah with New Wine Congregation. Before I get started, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Yahweh. Right, Yahweh is the name who the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the name who the world calls Jesus Christ. And today's lesson I'm gonna touch on, today's Sabbath lesson I'm gonna touch on is this is your first job. This ministry is your first job, brothers. You going out there teaching, making videos, making truth music for the Lord. You putting your brick in. This is your first job, sisters. You out here making videos for other sisters. You sewing for the ministry. You cooking for the ministry. You being that backbone for the ministry. This is your first job, and I'm gonna touch on a little bit more after I let the brother play the shofar, and we'll get into the Sabbath lesson. You already up. All praise to the Most High, right? All praise to the Most High. So this is not, this ministry, this truth is your first job. And I got a few verses I want to pull up. I got a few verses I want to pull up real quick and read. Because a lot of time, some of us get caught up in the job that we got here in captivity. Right, the job that's actually paying you money to pay your bills, to pay your rent, to allow you to get the things that you want in life, right? A lot of people look at that, as their first job. I got to get to the bag. I got to get to the money. But when you come into this truth, that's no longer your first job. That goes down to your second job when you come into the ministry. Right, so when you get Matthew 16 in verse 24, it said, "Then said Yahweh Shah unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." So this is Yahweh Shah. He was like, man, if anybody come and follow me, he had to deny himself, right? Meaning you gotta, when you come and serve the Most High God, the things that you normally used to do, you ain't gonna be able to really do it no more. When you used to go out and party on the Sabbath day, you used to go chill with your friends, go and chill with your family all the time. You just had all the time in the world. When you come into this truth, you're not gonna have that type of time to do those things that you used to do, man. He said, "Take up his cross and follow me." You're gonna have to, when he's saying take up your cross, meaning you're gonna have to leave everything behind to follow Yahweh Shah, to follow Christ, man. Because the things that when you were doing the things of this world, when you wasn't in this truth, you had, like I said, you had plenty of time. But when you come into this truth, you understand that this is a job, right? The Most High is the boss. He can fire you at any given time if you're not on your best behavior, man. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a servant. So you have to deny yourself the pleasure that you used to do before you came into this truth. And it said, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it." So a lot of people gonna lose their life, man, because they're trying to save it right now. Right? They're trying to live that American dream. They're trying to be the richest person in America. They so focused on riches and prospering here in America that they're not even denying themselves for Yahweh Shah. But Yahweh Shah said, if you deny yourself, you will find your life. meaning you will get that everlasting eternal life. If you deny yourself, you have to deny yourself now, man. You have to put that work in now, because we know the kingdom of heaven is going to be everlasting rest, right? So in order for you to enter into that everlasting rest, you must be putting the work in right now. A person that's not putting the work in right now is not worthy, or in the Most High eyes, he's not worthy to get the kingdom of heaven, get everlasting rest, because he already, you know what I'm saying, resting out. He ain't putting that extra work in. I'm talking about brothers got jobs, brothers got families, but you still got to tend to the ministry. Why? Because this is the first job. You know, and I'm guilty of working and then coming home tired, and it's on my spirit to make a video, but I'm like, man, I'm so tired from work. You know what I'm saying? I'll just do it another time. But this is the first job. The ministry is the first job. We can't let our job dictate how we do for the Most High and His truth. This is the first job. Your job that you have here in America or wherever you at around the four corners of the earth, their job it come after this ministry. So you can't let your job allow you to get your actual job, allow you to get fired during your actual job from the Most High God, man. This is our life now. When you come into this truth, you basically tell the Lord, I'm a servant. Paul said he was a servant of Yahweh Shai. This is his life. When you have people be like, man, you in that Bible too much. All you want to do is study. All you want to do is go out to camp. Of course. This is my life. This is my job. Just like you have a person that may have their own business and they work for themselves. They nobody tell them you working too much, bro. You working too much, sis. Why you got 2 or 3 businesses for? Why are you not getting sleep? Because you up trying to figure out how can you better your business. Nobody say nothing to them, but when it comes to us putting that work in for the Lord, dropping video after video, going out and teaching when it's cold, when it's hot, nah, they like, oh, you doing too much. You need to take a break. You into that Bible too much. What? I'm into the Bible too much. No, you're not in it enough. You see what I'm saying? So let me get this verse. Let me get Matthew 4. You gotta understand, man. When the apostles was called to, when Yahweh Shah called the apostles to follow him, they had stuff they had going on, right? They had things they had going on, just like now in this truth. The Lord called some people that they had stuff planned out. Oh, they wanted to be you had a brother on the path of going to the NBA or the NFL. That was their mindset. They putting that work in to try to build themselves up to go to the NFL. But the Most High God had other plans. He woke them up into this truth, and it's like, dang, so that brother plans had to get put to the side. It shouldn't be no question of NBA or serving the Lord. Do I want to serve the Lord or the NBA or the NFL? I want to pursue my dream, or do I want to make the Most High God happy and get the kingdom? There shouldn't be no question. A lot of people had to put their dreams to the side to serve the Most High God, and that's okay. That's okay. We don't count that as a loss for us to put the things that we want to do fleshly and put that aside for the Most High. We don't count that as the world gonna count it as a loss. But he crazy as hell. He had a chance to go to the NBA, but instead he want to be out here, out here with a Bible in his hand all day, screaming, telling people to repent. That couldn't be me. You have your people. Our people love saying that. That couldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they don't understand. The people that's of the world won't understand why we do what we do and why we go so hard for this truth, man. It seems like you never had time for nothing else. Somebody trying to come chill with you, nah, bro. I gotta drop this lesson, bro. Somebody trying to chill with you, nah, bro. I gotta go chill with the brethren, man. I gotta go out and teach. Then they're like, dang, why he don't never come around them? We acting different. No, I'm doing my job. I'm not trying to get fired. Matthew 4 in verse. What I want? Matthew 4 and 17. From that time, Yahweh shall begin to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And Yahweh shall walking by the sea of Galilee saw two brethren, Simon, called Peter, Andrew, his brother, casting their net into the sea, for they were fishers. So these men are literally, and this probably was their profession. This is how they made money. They catch the fish, people buy the fish. So that's like their own little business. And he said unto them, follow me, I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. Right? They left that because even back in the ancient world, man, it was completely different, man. Times are so different. But them brothers left what they was doing and followed Yahweh Shai. You know how many people can do that? Just like the rich man that basically asked Yahweh Shai, what I gotta do to get to the kingdom? And Yahweh Shai said, keep the commandments. Well, is that the same one? When Yahweh Shai said, I think it is the same, the parable, not the parable, but when the dude came up and asked him how you get the kingdom, and Yahweh Shai was like, you got to give up your riches. You know what I'm saying? That was part of Yahweh Shai trying to get him to deny himself to get that everlasting rest, that everlasting riches and wealth. But he couldn't do it. He couldn't deny himself. He didn't want to do the works of the Lord, man. Right? Because he probably had a business, right? He probably had all type of wealth set up. But this is your first job, man. Because we getting paid, we just don't see it. Your job that you got in captivity, you actually see the money getting put in your hands, right? Every week or every 2 weeks, you see the money getting put in your hands. You see yourself paying for the light bill, paying for the water bill. You see money in your wallet. We are getting paid right now. You just don't see that money yet. And that's not good enough for a lot of people to hear. They want to see the money right now. I need to see that my fruits, the fruits of my labor right now. I need to see it right now. But no, this is why the Bible keeps saying the Bible say patience of the saints. This is the patience of the saints. You gotta be patient, man. You have to deny yourself. You have to put this work in. Everything else is in the back. It comes behind this ministry. Behind you serving the Most High God and doing the works, everything else comes behind that. It's after that, man. So when you get let's get John. This is your first job. We can't never get tired or get weary of doing a job this is a special job. This ain't no average job. You go to McDonald's, you go to KFC, you go to Burger King. It ain't really a special job or Walmart. Like, it's a job, you know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High, but it's not like a special job like they have you like, wow. Because they'll fire you and hire somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They'll fire you or hire somebody else the next day. But this is a special job because everybody's not called to do this. Everybody's not called to minister or to be a messenger for Yahweh Shai. Everybody not called to do this. This is a very, very special job. Yet it's the most looked down job. You know what I'm saying? But it's the most special job because everybody can't do it. Everybody not called to do it. So it's a beautiful thing to be called to minister. To be able to what was it? 21. Oh wait, 21. $15. So when they had dined, Yahweh Shah said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, yeah, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, feed my lambs. This is what Christ is telling Peter. Yahweh Shah telling Peter, you love me? Feed my lamb. He said unto him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, yeah, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all these things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahweh shall said unto him, feed my sheep. So this is part of our job. This is our life. We can't let our captivity job and the things of this world wear us out to the point where we forget about what we was called to do. And it's easy to happen. It's easy to let it happen, to allow this captivity in this world to wear you out to the point where you don't want to go out and teach no more. You don't really make videos no more. You don't study and read no more. Right? And I'm guilty to that. Right? Well, I was guilty to doing that, man. But this is why we have to always remember keep the main thing. We must always remember why we here on this earth. You can't forget your purpose. You can't forget why you was called. You can't forget what was your first love. Right? You can't forget that. So he told him, he's like, man, if you love me, feed my sheep. No, everybody wasn't called to be part of the 12, the apostles. Everybody wasn't called. You had people following them. You had people that wanted to probably be, I ain't gonna say probably, it's people that want to be part of the 12. They probably asked Yahweh Shai, God, please let me be a part of your ministry. He didn't see them fit. And that's okay. People got to understand, everybody is not meant to be a teacher, right? It's just everybody not meant to be, a teacher. Everybody not meant to do. You got to find your talents. You have to find your purpose to what you can be the best at for the ministry. Find it. Everybody got a purpose, man. Right? If the Lord using you, calling you, you got a purpose somewhere. Your purpose may not be like the other person's purpose that you may know and that you may look at it. It might not be like him, but you got a purpose that you got to figure out, man. Whether you praying and fasting, you have to figure out what the purpose is for you. Right? So when you get let me get this last precept. Time flying. Shoot. This last verse. Sabbath lesson for the day, man. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High, man. I'm being starting to be more consistent with these Sabbath lessons. Trying to be more consistent with them. It's good to do these. 1 Corinthians 15 and 10. But Paul, right? But by the grace of God, I am what I am. And his grace, which was bestowed upon me, was not in vain. But I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of God, which was with me. So Paul, he telling you, man, Paul was putting that work in. He like, but by the grace of God, though, he had to put that in there, because if he didn't put that in there, people, it'll come off like he's saying this proudly and bold. He's trying to boast, but he not saying this basically to boast. Now that I got out of it, he's basically just telling you. No matter of fact, let me start at verse 9. For I am the least of the apostles, that am not meant to be called an apostle, because I persecute the church of God. He like, man, I started out persecuting the church. Like, ain't no way I'm not supposed to be called no apostle. You know what I was doing? That's how a lot of us be in this truth. I shouldn't be, I don't feel worthy, right, to teach out here, because I was in the streets. I was a pimp. I was pimping, I was selling dope. I was doing all type of crazy stuff. Right? Ain't no way I'm supposed to be called a disciple or a follower of Christ. He said, by the grace of God, I am what I am. He telling you, but by the grace of the Most High, it's his mercy and grace that allowed me to become Paul and not Saul anymore. I'm Paul. He said, his grace which was bestowed upon me was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all. So the reason why Paul labored, we know it's by the grace of the Most High, right? But the reason why Paul labored more than he said than all, because Paul was putting that work in, right? He felt like he had something to prove, right? He felt like he kind of had a chip on his shoulder because how he started off in his life. He probably was like, man, if I slip up, right, the Lord may send me back into the world. He may have felt like, man, I'm out of chances. This is my last shot, right? If I mess the shot up, I'm liable to go back into the world, right? He feared for his life. So Paul, like, man, he putting that work in. He like, man, I'm so thankful that the Most High brought me in this truth. I gotta repay him. I gotta labor for all the times that I missed, for all the times I was persecuting the chosen people of God. They was telling me I wasn't listening. I was persecuting them. Now I gotta, like little baby say, I got something to prove. Not only to myself and to the people around me that may have doubted me, but to the Most High God. Paul had a chip on his shoulder, man. That's why he was constantly out here laboring, right? And he didn't look at himself as one of the biggest apostles. He didn't look at himself like that. But with the work that he put in, you wouldn't think that he was the least apostle, man. But it said what? By the grace of God, which was with me. But in order for him to be able to do this, he would have to make this ministry his first job, his first love. Everything else came in the back end, man. So this is how we must be. We have to make sure that we make this ministry our first love. This is our first job. Nothing comes before. If you put your job, anything good before this ministry, it's idolatry, and you're going to get the lake of fire, man. Because that's idolatry, and that's breaking the commandment. Right? Hey, the Most High God take idolatry very seriously, man. He said, the first commandment out of the 10, thou shalt have no other God before me. You can't have no other gods before him, man. So if you put in anything before this ministry, that's an idol, and you must stop that. Bring this ministry to the front end of your life. This is your life now. This is your life. This ministry is your life. This truth is your life. Period, man. So all praise to the Most High. I just want to make this quick video because my laptop finna die. But all praise to the Most High, man. Brothers and sisters, Lord, when you got something out of this, this is your first job. Right. So with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Awashai. That's a shalom.